guys, welcome back to another video on my channel, or welcome if this is the first video of mine you are watching. In this video, we are tackling all things reorganizing, decluttering, and refreshing your devices for the new year. And no, I do not just mean setting a new wallpaper on your laptop or giving your iPhone a new iOS layout. I mean seriously decluttering your phone and laptop in ways that's going to massively free up your storage, make the usage of your devices so much more productive, help preserve the battery life of your devices and make them work longer, as well as make your devices run so much quicker and so much more smoothly. So this is absolutely everything that I did as part of my digital declutter and refreshing my phone and laptop for the new year. So first, let's start with everything I did to refresh and declutter my phone. The first big thing I did was go into the notification section of my iPhone settings and turn off the badge notifications for every single app on my phone. I have only kept the badges on for my messages, phone, and Gmail apps, since those are the three I use every day for like business purposes. Other than that, I turned off all the badges for my social media apps, games, and what have you. Because I have a literal compulsion where the second I open my phone and see one of those little red badges on an app icon, I am immediately compelled to open whichever app it is and clear away that notification. I immediately get distracted and then all my productivity goes right out the window. So having those little badges turned off for every single one of my apps has really just upped my productivity and actually helps to save battery life. Then the second thing I did was go into the messages and phone apps, and I deleted every single one of my old text and message threads and call logs. Turns out that my messages app was actually using up more than 5 gigabytes of storage on my phone, all because of old text message threads, old group chats, old texts with friends who have since changed their numbers, also those little like confirmation texts and calls you often get. It was all taking up so much storage, and some of those conversations go back to over like a year ago. So I went ahead and deleted every single one of those group chats, text messages, and call logs that are either of no use to me anymore, are of no importance anymore, or that are with somebody I haven't spoken to in literally months. That left me with so few conversations in my messages app and also gave me back so much storage on my phone. Then another digital declutter step that gave me back so much storage and made my life so much better was to go through my Spotify. Turns out my Spotify app was taking up the third most storage of any other app on my phone. So I took a gander at my playlists and albums and podcasts I had downloaded, and turns out there were so many I had created and saved and downloaded so freaking long ago, like months and years ago, that I haven't used since, that were all just taking up so much storage on my phone. For example, I had like 4 different Christmas playlists from 4 different years. I had old playlists from concerts I went to. I had old like college study playlists. So I went through every single playlist, album, podcast, everything I had ever downloaded, kept only the ones I listened to every single day and on repeat, and everything else I did away with. And if ever I want back any of that, I just have to search for it on Spotify, but in the meantime, I get back all of my storage. Then from a storage, organization, and productivity standpoint, I was in dire need of going through my Notes app. My Notes app syncs between my iPhone, my MacBook, and my iPad, and I use it literally all day, every day for various different needs and uses. And while my Notes app doesn't take up all that much storage, I think it's only like 100 megabytes or something. More on a productivity and organization level, I had over 300 notes that were scattered all over my Notes app with zero organization. And I can tell you, I most definitely do not have a use for over 300 notes. So I took the time to sit down with my Notes app and create various different categories for YouTube related things, lists that I want to keep, links I want to keep. I went through every one of the 300 plus notes I had in the Notes app, organized the ones I want to keep into the appropriate categories, and deleted everything else. Again, it wasn't taking up all that much storage, but it was severely disorganized and now looks so much better and easier to use. Then I did a little mini purge session on the apps on my phone. Ever since iOS came out with the app library, it has been the bane of my existence because it is now easier than ever to have so many apps that you don't use cluttering up your app library. And because all those different like categories and folders in the app library are automated and not created by you, it's so much easier for it to get so much more cluttered and disorganized. So I took a couple of minutes to sit down, go through all the various categories in the app library, delete all the apps I either downloaded and never used again, apps I used to use that I no longer have a use for, and just generally all the apps that I no longer need. I also set a challenge for myself to keep less than 100 apps on my phone, which I know sounds absolutely ludicrous, but when you go through all the different apps on your phone, turns out it's really easy to accumulate 100 apps on your phone. So that is a little decluttering challenge that I set for myself. And then once I was done with all of that, the final thing I did to refresh and spice up my phone a little bit is to set a new wallpaper and home screen for 2024. Doing that on any one of my devices always just helps it to look a little fresher, a little newer, and I just always feel better whenever I have a new wallpaper. So then moving on to everything I did to declutter, reorganize, and refresh my laptop. So the first thing I did was set a brand new wallpaper on my MacBook, since the first thing you see whenever you use your laptop is your desktop. I just wanted to give it a fresh new look, so I went onto Pinterest, I pinned a couple of different wallpapers I may want to use throughout the year, and then just set the first one I fell in love with as my current wallpaper, and it looks so much fresher and newer. Then similarly to the purge I did in the app library on my iPhone, I did the same thing in the launchpad of my MacBook. I went through every single app that I had installed on my MacBook, deleted all the ones I haven't used in like 6 months, the ones that had been sitting there for ages unused, and then with all the apps I decided to keep, I created various different categories and folders and organized all of them. And then I took all the apps out of my launchpad that I use on a daily or weekly basis and put all of those into my dock on the bottom of my MacBook. That freed up a ton of storage on my laptop and also made my app usage a lot more productive. Then I did a massive purge on the documents, desktop, and downloads folders. For the longest time, I had so many stray folders and files just all over the place. There was like no cohesion to what was saved in what folder. So I did a massive purge of the 3 sections and organized everything. Now I keep absolutely nothing on my desktop. I only have the clean look of my wallpaper. I use my downloads folder as kind of like a temporary housing until I decide where I want to file away something, or else I delete it. And then in my documents section, I've organized everything into categories and folders for like YouTube stuff, editing, music, photos, what have you. Now everything has its own clearly marked section. Everything is so much more organized, easy to find. Each folder has its own sort of like usage and purpose on my laptop. No more of my laptop looking super cluttered and disorganized, and now I have a lot of storage back. And then after I did that massive purge of all my files and folders, I then used the Clean My Mac app to clean the background of my laptop. Turns out if you don't clean the background of your laptop, there's a lot of things that kind of stock up in the background and slow down the run of your laptop. So I just used the free version of Clean My Mac to run a scan on the background of my laptop, got back like a gigabyte or 2 of storage, and now it runs so much quicker and so much more smoothly. Then once I did that massive cleanup of my actual laptop itself, then I moved sort of more inwards into the hub of my daily usage of my laptop, which is my Google Chrome browser. I use Chrome for everything, whether it's Googling something, using a website, it's where I keep all of my bookmarks, my extensions, literally an extension of my life, my business, work, and everything. And in the last year or so, it has definitely gotten very, very cluttered with no organization. So first, I went through all of my bookmarks. I deleted a ton of bookmarks I haven't used in months, even years. I then saved all the bookmarks I wanted to keep into specific folders. So I have folders for like finance, YouTube stuff, what have you. And then at the front of the bookmarks bar, the one I kept outside of a folder is a direct link to my Notion because I use that literally all day, every day. So it's much easier to access. I'm not going to get super in depth on how I reorganized and set up my Notion for 2024. If you guys want a separate video on that, I can totally do that, but just not the purpose of this video. Then I did the exact same thing with my Chrome extensions. I went through every single Chrome extension I've ever installed, deleted all the ones I haven't used in months, even years. Turns out I even had some extensions downloaded that are no longer functioning, some that have been shut down by their respective companies. So I just did a little bit of a declutter in my extensions tab. I uninstalled all the ones I have no use for anymore, and then I pinned all the ones I use on a daily or weekly basis for easier access. And then this one speaks to the heart because this is something I've been putting off for ages that has finally made my life so much simpler and better, but I badly needed to do a super massive purge of my email inbox, not only in the emails I was letting sort of like pile up, but especially in unsubscribing from a ton of newsletters, all those times you like give your email at stores. I was literally getting dozens and dozens of those emails every single day, and it was massively cutting into my productivity. So in my Gmail, I went to the search bar at the top and searched for unsubscribe, and then what happens is it brings up every single thing you're currently subscribed to in your email inbox so that you can hover over each one of them and unsubscribe from all of them. Some of them are a little bit more clever and do actually require a two-step unsubscribe. So you have to click on the individual email, scroll down, hit unsubscribe, go to their second party app, and then unsubscribe, which can be a little bit tedious and time consuming, but so freaking worth it to see my inbox so pristine and clean and organized. Definitely having done all of that, I am forever promising myself to never let it get that bad. If ever there is a stray email that I no longer want, unsubscribe. Now I am no longer afraid to open my email. I am no longer putting off opening my email because it is so much more clean to look at. But that, you guys, is everything that I did as part of my 2024 refresh and declutter of my phone and laptop. Hopefully this video was helpful in some way, shape, or form, gave you some ideas, was inspiring in some way, shape, or form. As always, thank you all for watching. I love you all to the moon and back, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!